Do you want durable 100% carbon fiber arrows? Warhead Arrow Company. Warhead Arrow Company is 100% carbon fiber constructed hunting arrows with bone-shattering penetration. Durable, tough, yet reliable when it comes to the moment of truth. Their target arrows are world-class in accuracy and precision, an arrow that target archers can depend on to reach the top of their game. Warhead Arrow Company. Check them out today at warheadarrowco.com. That's Warhead Arrow Company. warheadarrowco.com. Boy, I tell you, we got one coming for you here.
Y'all sit down, hold on, shut up.
Yep. This is going to be a ride.
Hope you all brought your spurs because things are about to get a little western on this podcast.
We got Tom Cruise Maverick sitting over here.
Hey, he wears his sunglasses at night.
I know.
And then you got Goose right here.
Yep. You got Goose.
Oh my God, it is Goose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Well, Maverick and
perfect.
Goose, baby.
Have y'all had a good time tonight?
Man,
Absolutely.
great time.
Good.
This is great. I mean, who could think that in the middle of cross lanes, you could sit here with a bonfire and have a podcast?
Fire trucks and ambulances.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
but hey,
Yep.
People running red lights, you name
Yeah.
it. We've
Yeah.
had it tonight.
Name it.
we pulled it off, boys.
Yeah.
So, anyways, before we get started, I want to give a plug for one of our new ad partners, Jones Empire Incorporated, or LLC. They're based out of Eleanor, I believe, but they do about anything and everything that you can think of. I mean, here in fall's coming up, so they're basically, they do big tree services. If you're tired of those walnut trees and the acorns crashing and damaging your vehicle or your roof or anything like that, I mean, they can take care of all those trees for you. They do cleaning services. They do all kinds of different cleaning services: house cleaning, office cleaning, property cleaning. So there's a lot of different branches to their company. I mean, they do all kinds of stuff. They even have rentals. So if you want to rent a dump trailer or something like that, you can rent that from them. So we'd just like to give them a shout out, and we appreciate them becoming an ad partner with us. So we will have their ad be featuring here next week probably. So yeah, check them out, Jones Empire. And I believe they have a website. Well, maybe they don't yet, but they're on social media heavily. They've got over 3,000 followers on social media, so just check them out there. And if you need them for any of their services, American-owned and operated, Jones Empire, check them out. All right, so without further ado, these guys sitting over here, Maverick and Goose. We've got some turkey hunting machines over here. They's like, anything you want to talk about turkey, we talk about turkey. I said, I know you boys are turkey hunters, but this is
Hey, we can deer hunt too.
this is archery
We can
season.
deer hunt too.
We're in the thick and thin of deer season
Yes,
here.
sir.
So
I know. Turkeys never leave the mound, man.
Yeah.
No, never.
they
They
never
don't.
leave.
with a true turkey hunter, they don't.
Once
I'm
that
telling you.
gets in your blood, it's
It's
there.
there, bro.
It just
Yeah.
pumps through, on repeat.
Amen.
Yep. So Caleb Currents, Greenbrier Guide, and good friend of ours, Luke Humphreys. Welcome, guys.
Thank you,
for
thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah.
So we've got a ton of different things we can talk about. I mean, you boys have been in it all. I mean, you've done all kinds of different things when it comes to the outdoor industry and things like that. You've been on different teams and, so what's the biggest map that you all are using these days on the technology and things that we have? What's the programs that you all prefer?
So,
Not
only
just, for hunting, but scouting and
scouting
everything.
and all that.
there's a lot of different apps out there that I think I can speak for. Well, I know I can speak for Luke and myself that we pretty well strictly use Onyx.
Yeah.
And Onyx is coming out with new features. It seems like almost every other week, but I'm not really smart enough to use all those features.
Right.
No. But I tell you what, they really have got a great app, and just being able to pin the things that we do and those topography lines, and you can really go into the 3D mode and kind of see how the contour lays. That's a really, really big aspect of what we use. Also, the DNR actually has a really, really good map that not many people know about. So I'm about to put you guys on one if you're listening right now. Let me see here.
Yeah, this guy's like a bookworm.
So it's mapwv.gov, right? And the cool thing about that app, all right, so I can go on Onyx, or me and Luke can go on Onyx, and we can find what looks like a flat just based off of the topography lines.
Sure.
All right, and then we can go, so here you have a regular map of West Virginia.
Yeah.
But you can go into base map and click Hillshade, and it will show you every tram road on that mountain.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I've used
Yes.
Hillshade a lot.
Every tram road, every flat, right? So, typically what me and Luke used to do before was we pin a bunch of spots, and what do we do?
Scout them. Walk them.
Yeah, walk.
Yeah, you get there.
Yeah, we get there, and
Yeah, you
typically
get there.
by foot, right?
Yeah.
Because the best spots are typically ones you can't drive to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
So we walk our butts off and get in there, and it turns out to not be what we want, or it turns out to be great, like Lunar Ridge.
And that's exactly what we were getting ready to dive into. Is
Yep.
not every topographical feature is created equal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can see something on Onyx that looks money. You
Yeah.
could have two big drains leading right up into a giant low gap. You're like, oh man, this looks awesome.
Yeah.
This is something we were talking to
Yep.
Dave about today. Yep. You could get there with your boots, 3 miles deep. You're super excited getting there, and all of a sudden,
You get there.
there could be 50 trees down in the low gap.
Yeah. Or it could be nothing but poplar and there's no oaks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something, and that's something that like no map will tell you, right? But like Onyx actually has a setting, fun fact, that it will actually populate depending on the elevation whether oaks will grow or not.
No kidding.
No joke.
So, I don't have a clue how to use
That's
Onyx
one of those
properly
kind of more
then.
advanced settings. I actually know how to use that one. But so it kind of shows you like how the percentages are. Like if you're looking, there's a high percentage if oaks are there, it'll have like, red oaks are kind of an oranger color, and then the white oaks are a yellow color.
Okay.
So like that's a cool thing. But you really truly don't know that, if you use both of those mapping systems, you don't truly know until you go in on the ground. And just because they're oaks there doesn't mean they're hitting this year.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean,
1,000%.
Now,
Speaking on that though, as you guys have scouted this year, how has everywhere you've been? Has it been good? I know at the house it's been pretty decent.
It's been lights out everywhere
Yeah.
we've been.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
about.
tons of
So movement's going to be scarce this year.
tons
At
tons
least
of
for
oak.
right now.
Yeah.
it's caused the mass that we've
Right.
had.
Yeah,
that hit.
the camera picture production the last week and a half, 2 weeks has just been, drastically declined compared to mid-September.
Yeah.
I mean, it went straight down.
Yeah.
And me and Luke kind of knew it was coming. That's kind of all we talked about. Me and Luke done a lot of scouting. When Buck still had their velvet and stuff, and we were looking up in the trees, and like we knew oak was dropping.
Yep.
And we knew this would happen, and it always does on heavy mass crop years. This is what you have, and
Yep.
a lot of people call this the October lull.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm not a big believer in the October lull. And when I think of lull, I think as deer don't move. Period.
Yeah.
Right, and that might just be kind of like me being biased.
Sure.
Bucks are moving, but the thing is, bucks are moving 10 foot, 50 yards.
I was going to say in a
100
50-yard
Yeah.
square.
And
Yeah.
Why would that deer come to your corn pile, or why is he going to come and check your scrape whenever he's feeding in his bedroom?
Natural habitat.
Yeah.
So I personally really like heavy crop years like this because I know in 2 years when we have a dry spell, we're going to have some big ones. Because naturally, and if you look through the harvest reports that the DNR puts out, heavy oak crop years, the harvest reports lack.
Yeah.
All right, we don't kill as many deer.
Yep.
And that's great because 2 years from now when we don't have any oak, you're liable
Your
to
big
kill
boys
it.
are
You're
gonna start
liable to kill a
coming down
mega.
again.
Yeah,
That is a very big point, Caleb.
Yeah.
I mean, you just hit that right on the nail.
Yeah.
Do you think that these mass crops like this does it affect the rut, the pre-rut or the post-rut?
I don't.
Pre-rut, I think it does.
I would say.
I would think the pre-rut.
Yeah.
I would say the pre-rut, but not in the aspect of like where bucks are eating, right? Because pre-rut, to be honest, I personally, right, this is very biased. I'm not a professional by any means, But from what I've noticed, bucks come pre-rut don't really care about where they're eating. They're too busy checking up on doe groups.
Yes.
Yeah.
And where it matters is where are the doe groups feeding, not where the bucks are feeding, where are
Right.
the doe groups feeding.
Yes.
Right?
And that's where I was getting ready to lead into is why that pre-rut
Yep.
lull matters.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which that kind of bleeds into what you're talking about. What the next talking point is the 4 stages of the deer season that Caleb really talks heavily about.
Yeah. So I don't know if anyone listening to this went to the Greenbriers Wild and Wonderful Hunting, Fishing, Conservation Expo, but I give a seminar, and I broke hunting Appalachian whitetails down in 4 stages. And I'm a firm believer that a whitetail buck goes through more or less 4 stages and a fall. That's just a fall alone. That's not spring or whatever. Stage one being that early season, right? The early season time being the most difficult.
Wow, boys.
Yeah. Yeah, that dude's got neon under his
He's
bike.
he's riding
He got the straight pipes.
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
riding an
Yeah.
enduro through Cross Lanes.
But no, I feel like you have 4 stages into every fall, all right? And I plan around that, and I've been fortunate enough to kill mature bucks in every one of those 4 stages. In certain examples, I know Luke's killed several bucks in those stages. Luke's killed more big deer than me. But stage 1, you've got early season, right?
The goose.
Yeah, the goose. It's because the mustache, I guarantee it.
It's the mustache.
I can't grow a
I'm
mustache,
telling
so
you.
automatically he has to kill bigger deer than me.
I'm telling you.
Just glad he's still alive and didn't break his neck.
But you've got 4 stages. So you've got the early season, right? And bucks are starting to kind of come off their summer patterns, right? How many of us here at this table have had bucks on camera all summer long, and then a week before season they disappear and you go into
Gone.
panic,
Yep.
right? Every time, all right?
Yeah.
Oaks are dropping, bucks are going hard horn, and that is the biggest transition a whitetail goes through in its life.
Sure.
Right? That pattern change is the biggest, and it's the hardest to kill.
Yeah.
It's the hardest to kill at that point. The method to that is hunting. One, I hope you know where he beds, and I hope you know how to get close to him without bumping him.
Sure, absolutely.
Luke's hunting a
That's
really
the
good deer
ticket
right
right
now,
there.
and that's all of our conversations is getting
Yeah.
him tight to that buck's bed without bumping him, and that's
Yeah.
nearly
Especially
impossible.
now because,
Yeah.
like you said, the mass is
It's
exponential.
Yeah.
So they're bedding where they're eating.
Exactly.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's stage 1. So on heavy crop years, it's pretty tough, right? But stage 2, kind of middle of October, is when you break into that pre-rut, right? And that pre-rut stage is very, very dangerous for a whitetail because that is when he's the most predictable. In my personal opinion, I've had deer. A lot of times they'll make loops. They're checking scrapes, whatever the case may be. They might have a 2-day loop, a 3-day loop. I got a buck right now making a 2-day loop. The biggest loop I have personally seen was an urban buck I was hunting, and he had a 6-day loop. That deer
wow.
would come and kick my scrape out every 6 days within 15 minutes, the same time. So that
He had a big area.
yeah, real big area. I actually seen that buck, didn't kill him, definitely spooked him because I walked in the stand hungover. I was a little late.
Shocker.
Yeah. But the third stage of that, that second stage kind of ends at the end of the first week. I like to say the end of the first week and the beginning of the second week is when bucks go into what I like to call the rut stage. And the rut can be broken down into many different stages. Typically it's seeking, chasing, and then lockdown.
Yes.
All right. And then, but we'll just consider it the rut.
Sure.
So typically second week in November, best way to kill them, you're hunting downwind doe bedding. Luke has got some mega deer to
Yeah.
prove that works.
Oh, I guarantee it.
And,
I agree with that a lot.
Yeah, and so hunting downwind of doe bedding is the money. You can have a corn pile out all year long. You can have mock scrapes all year long. I don't care what you hunt over. But come November, it's about knowing your does. And if you don't know your does, you're out of the game.
Yeah.
So knowing where your does bed and feed are critical.
Oh, yeah.
And a very quick story.
It's where Daddy's hanging out.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. A very quick story. Me and Luke were hunting a buck, a couple bucks, but one in particular. I actually seen buck. He winded a dead bear that I killed because he blew out an entire black oak flat worth of deer. I mean, I had like 8 deer underneath me, and a whole yogi just decided to scare them all off.
Gosh.
So I shot the bear, and Luke
Monster
was like,
bear.
Yeah,
by the way.
monster bear. Is not a small bear on public land. I was super stoked. First bear I ever killed.
Nice.
I've been bow hunting my entire life, and I texted Luke, and he was like, "You want me to get down?" I said, "No." I said, "It's mist and rain. It's cold." I said, "Let's just hang in here." So we hung in there, and then finally Luke, or after about an hour after I shot the bear, the biggest buck of my life walks off the hill, and it was one of the ones we had on trail camera that we called Booner. And the deer come into 60 yards. I had the arrow knocked, and the wind was kind of risky, but where the bear landed, it was definitely bad. And he winded that dead bear. He blew one time, and he walked right back out of my life just as fast as he appeared into it. And needless to say, I was pretty heartbroken. I was pretty bummed. Luke come out and met me, and we spent the entire day dragging the bear out. And
The entire day.
when Luke went back in there, 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes after he walked by our camera on the other side of the ridge from where he was coming to help me, one of our shooters that was also over 150 walked right by his stand. So double bad news.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I got down out of that tree at I got down right at 11.
Yeah,
I didn't
right at
actually
11.
get down and pack my stand under a log and hide it because we were on public. I hid it under a log, and I texted Caleb at 11:21.
Yeah.
And said I'm on my way.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you. The next morning, we went in there to hunt, and I had my card reader. And I went into that camera that was in that low gap I was hunting. And then that buck we called Booner, he walked past that camera 11 minutes after I left.
Oh, my Lord.
But
So,
Good job killing your bear. Screwed
Yeah.
his hunt up.
yeah.
But
that was a pretty selfish day for me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Selfish.
Yeah. He shouldn't have scared all my deer away.
Yeah.
He learned.
See, that's how Maverick screws Goose every time.
Yeah.
He learned real quick on that one.
Yeah. But good news is Luke killed that deer on November 20th. It was the day before my birthday, and I was in and out of service. I was hunting a 14-point and was down there trying to kind of put a pattern on that deer. And Skylar had actually called multiple times, and for whatever reason, I hadn't got him. And then she texted me and said, "Hey, you need to call Luke. Something about a booner." And I knew. And man, I was setting a trail camera whenever I FaceTimed him, and my man was in tears, as he should be. You kill a deer of that caliber on public land in West Virginia, you're doing something.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
Was on cloud 9. I was super, super stoked. I just wish I, would have been in that same county because I'd have been there, or at least got the call. I was out of service. I would have left what I was doing. But so that's the third phase. The fourth phase is late season, and more or less bucks are just trying to survive. And you're hunting food sources. Bucks can go back to their summer patterns. I've seen them go back to their summer patterns. I've seen them stay where they were pre-rut. It all depends on where the most food is and the most secure bedding, and that's where kind of bucks key in on, at least what I've noticed.
Sure.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey, so real quick, I know we've done one already this evening, but being this is a long podcast and we've multiple guests this evening, I'm wanting to do a second salute to valor. So we're gonna salute Joe Reiner. He was born in Marion, Indiana, and raised in St. Paris, Ohio. He joined the Army, and from August 2002 until December of 2006, he was stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, where he had 2 tours of duty to Iraq, and he got 4 Army Accommodation Medals and 4 Army Achievement Medals. And he, like I said, he did get out in December of 2006. So, that's a pretty, in retrospect, that's a short career, but 2 years of that career was spent overseas in Iraq fighting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not getting into that, but
In the heart of it.
yeah, fighting a war.
Yeah.
That, so we really appreciate your service, and thank you for all that you've done and the time that you spent there.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank
Joe.
you, Mr. Reiner, for your service. God bless you. And, both of these, Luke, you served, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's what I
I'm
thought.
still in, yeah.
Luke and Caleb
really?
both served.
Yep,
So
both still
Yeah,
in.
I'll just
thank you guys for your service as well.
Thank you for your support.
That's one of the things
Yeah,
that
we've done Caleb's.
Yeah, we've done Caleb. We've done Caleb while we was at the Greenbrier.
Yeah.
We haven't
We
done
have
Luke,
not
though.
done Luke's.
Yeah,
No,
so
well-
you're going to have to send us
Yeah,
your
yeah,
information.
Yeah.
so we can feature you on an actual episode.
Okay.
You gotta have a picture of that mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we put pictures on this
That'll
one?
probably be the most,
it'll be
viewed
it'll blow up.
episode ever.
you.
We're going to put him right on the
Maverick and
front of
Goose.
it.
Yeah.
Maverick and Goose. I
The
think we've got
Goose.
new nicknames.
Yeah.
Maverick and Goose.
The goose stash. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, baby.
No, really. Thank you guys
awesome.
for your service. I mean, that's one of the things that we love to do is, give thanks to our veterans, because if it wasn't for them overseas,
We'd
and,
be speaking German.
we wouldn't be able to do the things that we're doing
Probably
right now.
Chinese, buddy.
Well, in this day and age, but if it wasn't for the veterans of world wars,
Absolutely.
we'd
Yeah.
be German.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Yep.
Like my grandpa. Yep.
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 That's like I just rewatched at the camper. I rewatched the whole Band of Brothers. Man, that was
Oh man,
such a great miniseries.
Incredible.
It was,
They
yeah.
done
Rips
so
my-
good on that.
it rips my heart out.
What's crazy
So good.
about that? So when they got in and they signed up in that day and age, their tour of duty, their time in service was from when they got in until the war was over.
Yeah.
They didn't have
It was
like what
indefinite.
you have. Yeah, exactly.
you don't know.
If that war would have lasted 27 years. Okay, look at Iraq,
Yeah.
Afghanistan. What was we 22 years?
Yeah.
something. So imagine that you
Yeah.
got in the World War II era, and that war lasted 22 years.
God.
Before you ever got to come home.
I tell you, man,
That's
I've been
crazy.
I've been in the military for going on 8 years, and like the amount of courage that it would have taken then. You think about it. You leave everything that you know
Yeah,
to fight a war until it's over or you die.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. So
Absolutely.
that should speak volumes about those gentlemen.
Yep.
That were
No,
going
they was-
overseas.
they was-
It's incredible.
Them guys were some
Every-
kind of man.
Every chance we have to salute and
Absolutely.
congratulate our veterans, we need to be doing it.
Yep.
If I see a man out and he's got a veteran hat on or he's got a Marine hat on or something like that, I'm like, thank you for your service, sir.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the least we can do,
At the least.
you know?
You know.
And the
Absolutely.
funny thing about that though, they don't want that. They don't want to hear that. Really.
No, they don't.
It's-
and we've talked about that before.
No, yeah, we have. Absolutely.
That's our duty as American citizens
Yep.
is to do that. That's what I think. And that's what I believe.
And those guys wear those hats, all right? Like those guys wear those hats. They don't wear it for.
They don't wear it for
They
the
don't wear it for
recognition.
the things,
For stature,
right?
nothing,
But
no.
they wear it because they're proud of it.
Proud- yeah,
because
exactly.
the camaraderie that you get in the military
Is
Is-
second to none.
Yeah,
is
it's
second to none.
unmatched.
Yep.
It really is.
The closest thing to it, boys, is deer camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it holds no comparison.
It
honestly.
don't. No,
And
it don't.
speaking on that, actually, where I'm working up in Kentucky.
Yeah.
I got to link up with a guy I served with, deployed with, everything. I hadn't seen him for 17 years.
Wow. Small world.
Yeah, it is.
Small
and
world,
I
dude.
knew he lived in that area, and I
So
got a hold
small.
of somebody else. He was like, "Oh yeah, he lives so and so." I'm like, "Oh shit,
That's so awesome.
literally like 15 minutes from where I'm at." So I got in contact with him and ended up linking up with him the other day, and we just sat and BS'd and reminisced, and it was like we've talked for every day since then. It's amazing how you can not talk to somebody that you've spent 3 years of your life with, but still go right back to it like you never missed a beat.
Never missed a beat.
Yep.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all coming on. You all have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to deer hunting, and
See, wait a minute. I lied to you there, Maverick. I told you we'd give you one turkey story.
Oh,
Yeah, hold on. We got to give him some
production
kind of
guy,
turkey.
cut the music.
Yeah.
Cut the music.
Bring that down. We got to talk a little bit of turkey.
right.
Since,
All right,
since
let's-
these guys are absolute diehard.
So-
Gotta cut it.
So if we get one turkey story, I'm obviously going to tell one about me and Luke this past season.
All right, let's go. Hit it.
Oh man. So me and Luke, Luke come down for the opening weekend of the Virginia season, and I had 17 different birds pinned.
Oh, wow.
The opening weekend.
It was lights out.
It was
Good Lord.
It was
It was lights.
when I tell you that.
I wish you'd have done that for us at the Greenbrier.
Hey, was I your guide?
No. But did you kill?
Well, I
Yeah,
called one
all
in.
right then.
Called one in.
They had birds in there.
And we had birds.
All right.
But I had 17 birds pinned opening day. I killed, Luke killed, Mullet killed, and then Tony killed.
Tony.
Me and Tony doubled.
Yeah, yeah.
I was going to say.
Hunted together, and we doubled.
Yeah.
So Sunday comes by, I call in 5, miss 1. We're not going to talk about that. Monday comes around. And
We leave turkey camp.
Yeah, we leave turkey camp. Luke comes, crashes at my place. And I told Luke that I could only hunt. I had a fishing trip that morning. So I could only hunt, like, literally till, like, 8 o'clock, and I had to be, like, out. Like, I had to be, like, at work. And he was like, too easy, man. Like, we'll go hunting. So we went out.
I had to be at work fishing.
Yeah, I had to yeah, so.
Could you imagine
Horrible
saying that?
problem.
I mean,
Terrible,
come
right?
on.
So awful.
God.
It did kind of suck because I would, like, as much as I do love to fish, I would, everyone that works with me knows I would much rather be in the woods.
Yeah.
hunting. But me and Luke, nonetheless, we went up on this high ridge. We struck a bird, and he gobbled.
Multiple.
Yeah, we struck multiple birds. But each of them seemed to only gobble like once or twice, and they kind of shut up on us. Now, I told Luke, I said, we could go down. I said, there's a trammer that runs around a mountain. So we kind of drove the trucks down there, parked, kind of took the long walk, went around through there and kind of done some calling, and nothing answered us, you know. But we could hear a hen putting on the other side. And I know she didn't see us, you know. She was definitely alert. And
She's 200-some yards away.
but
I had the same
there's no
thing
way.
happen to me this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
There's no way she's seen us, though. There's no way. It was too thick. And I told Luke, I was like, there's a longbeard somewhere right here. And I mean, he agreed. I mean, there was no argument.
Well, if she's consistent with that putt, it's different.
Yeah.
Now, when she starts getting inconsistent, that's when you got to worry.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
that's that alarm putt.
She was
She knows something's wrong.
She was
and
definitely
she's letting them
alarmed.
know.
Yeah, she was definitely alarmed. And I was like, this is not good, but it's not because of us.
Yes.
And so me and Luke made the decision, you know, we're just going to kind of cool it here, and we're just going to sound like a couple hens waking up on a limb.
Yep.
And threw in mouth calls, and we just kind of done what we done, you know, just sound like turkeys. We start off with some soft tree yelps, and
Fly down cackle.
yeah, we done a couple fly down cackles. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Hats
beat
to the leg.
hats to the leg, works every
yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
If you're a Jim Clay fan, if you don't know Jim Clay, he takes out a plastic bag, like a Kroger bag or something, and it sounds just like a turkey flying off. So shout
No
out to Jim.
way.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane. Yeah, that man's been turkey hunting 67 years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up every piece of advice I
Yeah.
get from him.
Yeah. You got
So-
to spend a lot of good time with him.
Oh man, great guy.
I got to spend some time with him up there too. He
Did you?
just wealth of knowledge,
Yeah.
absolute
It's insane.
wealth of knowledge.
That
That,
man-
man's forgot more than everybody here at this table
Agreed.
knows about turkey.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100%. Like the man is an encyclopedia for turkey hunting.
Yes.
Yep.
But me and Luke done some fly down cackles, you know, and it sounded like a couple hens, you know, 3 or 4 hens landed on the ground. And then we just started scratching around, man, just soft clucks and purrs and little feeding whistles and whines. And
Didn't hear anything.
didn't hear anything, but we're just sounding apart, brother. And then the next thing you know,
One,
that joker gobbles in our face.
oh,
Mind
my
you-
God.
Oh my lord!
Mind you,
He's right there.
I'm like ready, like he's across the drain on a little point. It's a little spur point. Luke knows it.
Probably 150, 175 yards from
Yeah.
us, just down this little rhododendron drain and up the other
it's
side.
super thick.
It's
And
actually the same tram road, but it goes up and then crosses a different
Yeah.
bowl and comes back
Oh, okay.
around.
Yeah.
And instantly, me being me, I'm like, we should go to him. And Luke's like, no. He's like, bro, he gobbled in our face. He's coming. And I was like, you think? And then,
I told Caleb, sit down now.
yeah,
Sit down and shut up.
I absolutely killed this turkey because of Luke. He said, sit down right now. So what did I do? I sat down right in the middle of the road. Not against the tree.
He didn't get up on
Nothing.
the.
I listened exactly what he said. I sat right down. And he said, what are you doing? And I said, exactly what you told me to do. Sit down.
He's not exaggerating when he tells the story.
So,
He sits down in the middle of the road, not against the tree. He didn't get up on the bank from the road. Nothing. He
No
sits down.
concealment
He sits
whatsoever.
down in the middle of the road. He's like, I'm doing exactly
He's
what
like,
you just told me
this
to do.
man's got a word from God.
I trust that man with a life, with my life, let alone when it comes to killing a turkey. I'm going to listen to him. So we sit down, and you hear,
Oh yeah.
and Luke's like, crap, 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 crap. And I'm like, you should probably sit down.
Didn't even take his own advice.
No. I told him, I said, that turkey's coming, Caleb. He's like, you think? I was like, he's coming. About that time, I heard a drum, and I was like, Caleb, did you hear that? And he said, no. And I was like, hold on just 1 second. Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't 5 seconds. We both heard it. And Caleb heard it that time.
Yeah. And it's got to be close to me here, because I'm like,
and I was like, where do I sit? Yeah. He's like, I guess just sit here with me. Like there was nothing to do.
So go ahead, Luke.
So me and Caleb were honestly just trying to figure out what to do, and all of a sudden I just hear choo, 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 just running up the hill, and I'm like, Caleb, do you hear that? And he's like, no. And I was like, you don't hear those leaves coming? And he was like, no. And I was like, dude, that turkey's coming now. He was like, okay. I was like, get your gun over the bank, because I was further back against the road than he was.
Luke couldn't see everything that I could see, because I sat down the middle of the road.
I could hear, but like he had the eyes, so he put his gun up, and then about that time, I'll let Caleb drive from here because he was seeing more than what I was seeing.
Yeah. So I see the blue and white head. I'm like, he's right there, Luke. And Luke said, then kill him. And I said, if he goes to ride this tree, he's dead. And sure enough, man, that turkey, man, he put on such a good show. He broke into full strut, and he kind of went behind that tree.
Just breaking through the rhododendron.
Yeah. Oh, this turkey is barreling through the brush coming to us. And sure enough, long story short, the turkey came out on the right side. Safety was off. Gun cracked. Birds started flopping, and I was at work by 7:45.
Nice. Wow. I hear you, man.
And it didn't end on that.
Well, you can tell that these boys are turkey hunters.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're in whitetail season, we're in archery season, deer hunting, but they bleed turkey hunting. That's for sure.
Like when it gets in your blood, it's in your blood.
Brother.
You can tell their passion. So, guys, we appreciate you all coming on tonight. It was a heck of a time. I hope you guys had a great time. Again, we want to thank the Breathe Wine and Culture Company here in Cross Lanes, West Virginia, for all their hospitality.
And beer.
They done,
beer
and all the craft beer.
Wine and
wine.
Yeah.
They done an amazing job. And, with the charcuterie boards and stuff, man, it was great.
That hot pepper cheese.
Oh yeah, it's really
Wow.
good. And listen, guys, they do grab and go meals. You can come in here on lunch, grab and go, get it.
Oh yeah,
and
you
go.
can order a charcuterie board.
You can order a
They'll have it set
charcuterie
up
board.
for you
They'll
and
set it
pick
up for you. Yep.
Absolutely, yeah.
They've got amazing facilities upstairs where we had our reception before. We had a little meet and greet for everybody. And they had it all set up, and everything up there is top notch.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you need a conference area here in Cross Lanes, if you got a business, there's plenty of businesses here in Cross Lanes.
Yep.
If you need a conference area, you got one right across the street
Yep.
here at the Breathe Wine and Culture Company. So,
Absolutely.
And again, we want to thank Cabela's for donating the waters that we have, keeping us hydrated with water so we don't dehydrate.
Our giveaway packages.
And the giveaway packages, the beef jerky and the hats.
Yep.
And don't forget their big sale coming up.
Yep,
October 19th.
Yep, October 19th through November the 1st.
Yep, Flannel Fest. So,
you'll get your
thank
flannels.
you guys for listening, and thank you guys for coming in. We sure appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, Mike.
Be sure to check us out on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and about 18 other different networks. Wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. Thank you guys for listening tonight, and we'll see you again. This segment of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by AMG Network Hosting, LLC, a national independent agent for most major telecommunication service providers. If your business is in need of internet, phones, credit card processing, let AMG Hosting help you compare options. They work with over 100 national carriers, and they can help you choose the best option for your needs. Our independence means we are loyal to our customers, not a brand or a company. Call us today at 304-608-3653 or visit us at amgnhconsulting.com. amgnhconsulting.com. Phone number again is 304-608-3653. AMG Network Hosting, LLC.